Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'll be showing you guys how we are going to sew our nail shorts together, or the front, the back, the band and the pocket, everything we need to join together. If you have not seen how we drafted this shorts, I'll leave a link somewhere in the description so that you guys would go and watch it. I went ahead to weave the parts of my fabric so that everything is neat. Now we are going to start working on the front. So I'll be keeping these two pieces of the back aside, and on the front we'll be working first on the pockets. And like I said, I weaved everything. In my video I said I didn't have enough fabric, so I'll join this black to this and sew it half inch on this side. I will do the same thing for this second one too. Then when I'm done sewing it, I'm going to make a curve at the bottom here, okay, to give us that pocket shape that we all like. So guys, I went ahead and I have joined the two parts of my pockets together. Like I said, if you're also using a different fabric for pocket and pocketing, then probably you should do it this way. So this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to place this black side, good face facing good face, on my short, put it this way, make sure everything is well aligned. Then I'll pin it down and then trim off this excess of this pocket side. So now the next thing we're going to do is we'll take this to our sewing machine and sew our pocket from the top half an inch all the way to this notch line. Just sewing, this is what it looks like in front. This is the good face, this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to hold it this way and top stitch on the pocket area this way, and then flip it over. After top stitching, flip it over and give it a good press. So after ironing, this is what it should look like. Then I'll bring this way and flip my pockets this way. This is the same process even if you're using the same fabric with your for your pocket as your um shorts. And then I'll flip it this way, and this is what we want to have. We want to have this outside to match the main short. Okay, so this is what it will look like when I flip it. Now this is what it looks like after top stitching. Like I said, I'm going to flip it over, and because we top stitched, it's just going to lay flat. Okay, we are going to take to our sewing machine on this front, and we will sew from here 0.5 inches all the way from here to the top. Sewing on the top, this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to bring it this way and then flip my pocket over, making sure that this point is aligning to this edge so everything is equal. When you flip it over like this way, to come to this side, right? So you have this side, and then you can put your hand in. Make sure that whatever you have here is 2.5 inches, but you're going to measure from this 0.25 line that you made all the way to the edge where you weave, making sure that it is 2.5, because remember we cut out 2.5 inches for our pocket. Okay, so right here now I have 2.5 inches starting from this line that I sewed down, not from this point, no, but from this point right here. And then I will pin it at this point here. I'll pin it here, pin it at the top. So this is the same process we will do on the other side of the front. So whatever you do here, make sure you do it on the other side of the front. We are going to sew on this point, on this notch, this half-inch line. We're going to lock it down back and forth a bit. We'll sew also like half an inch or 0.25 all the way on the waist to hold our pockets in place. What to do next now is we're going to sew this part right this way. Sew it from this point here half an inch all the way around, and then weave it. So now our pocket is ready. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side and we'll be back. Okay guys, I'm done sewing my pockets, and this is what they both look like Now on to the next thing, which is going to be our fly. So after we are done sewing our flap, this is what it looks like when we open it. And then when we close the zip, this is how it's going to look like, right? And on the inside, it's going to look, supposed to look like this. Now we're going to keep this aside and work on the back. Now for the back, the first thing we will do is put in our dart, but it is going to be 1/4 inch on both sides. I'm just going to fold this way to make it equal, so up to 3.5 inches in length. Then this is what it will look like on the back. I'm going to give this a good press and do the same thing for the other portion of the back shorts. So our 2 darts for the back is ready. The next thing we want to do now is to cut our patch pockets that's going to be here, and I'll show you what the measurement is. Patch pocket will measure 5.5 inches wide and 5 inches by the length. So I'm going to cut 2. So after folding my patch pocket, this is what it looks like, and I went ahead to sew just a stitch all the way around to hold it down. I'll do the same for this one and attach it, but let's work on one side of it. Remember I said that it's going to be 5.5 in width, right, by 5 inches for the length. So this is what we have, and then I'm going to fold it in 2 so I can get the middle of my patch pocket. Right now our patch pocket will be placed directly underneath our darts. That's where we'll place it, by the middle, and then I'm going to pin it down so where I take it to my sewing machine, it doesn't move around. Now you take it to your sewing machine and sew on this side and the bottom all the way, but you don't sew the top because this is the opening for the patch pockets. Okay, so after we are done sewing the back pocket, this is what it looks like. I also went ahead and I did it for the second one. This is what it looks like. We'll keep this aside, and then we'll bring our front piece. This is our front piece. We'll lay it facing up, and then we'll place the wrong side, good face to good face, with the crotch matching together. Then we'll place it on the side. We'll take to our sewing machine and sew all the way 1/2 inch from the top of the waistline down to the hem, making sure that we double stitch on this pocket area while we are sewing. So we'll bring it this way and sew on this side, and then do the same thing on the other side of our back on this side. When we are done, we'll be marking out the area for the belt loop, and then we will fix our band and our shorts will be ready. Guys, so I have sewed one part of it before I realized that my camera was not recording. So I'm going to show you guys what I did before my camera stopped recording. I'm so sorry about that. So the first thing we will do is, after joining the side, the back to the front on the side, making sure that the pocket is well joined, close our zip this way, and then we'll bring both ends of our shorts, both back ends of our shorts, and then we'll join it together, making sure that it is well aligned and we have the middle. I'm going to measure my waist divided by 2. The waist measurement that I used for this short was, or is 37. So 37 divided by 2 will give me 18.5. I'm going to start measuring from the middle point here all the way to the back, and when I have 18.5, I'm going to mark it out on this side. Okay, now I'll measure the distance that I have from my 18.5 point to my edge of my fabric, and when I do that I have about 2 inches. Okay, now I'm going to keep that, hold on to that 2 inches, take out my pin, and then open my shorts. So now remember we had 2 inches for our seam allowance. We are going to measure 2 inches from the edge of the pant here and mark, and then from this point that we have 2 inches, we are going to measure 1.5 inches towards this side, and we will mark it down. This is 1.5, which I have marked here, like so. On this mark is where we are going to insert our belt loop. Now we'll come to the joining on the side and measure towards the left. We will measure 2.5 inches and we will mark it like so. So 2.5 inches and we'll mark. Then we'll come to this pocket. On the pocket here, the edge, we would measure from that edge, we would measure 2 inches and we will mark. So on these 3 points is where we'll put our 3 loops on the left hand side. We'd also do the same thing on the other side, and we'll also put our 3 loops. I'm going to show you how I'll be putting the loop on this side, because as you can see, I have sewn the loop on this side and I sewed it in with while I was sewing my band. But if you don't want to put a belt loop, you can just decide to put your band without the stress of putting your belt loop. When I fix this side of the band, the first one, I made sure I opened my zip, and on my fly, the side that covers the zip, I extended my band by at least 1.5 to 2 inches, right? So I did 1.5 here. We'll be attaching our band directly from this midpoint at the back. So I'm going to put my band this way. So I'll show you how to put the first loop. While I get to my first 1.5 inch mark, I'm going to put my belt loop that I have here. I will insert it underneath the band this way, making sure that it is staying properly, and then I'll put my band on it this way. And so when I get to where the band is, I would go back and forth like once. This will help lock the band in place. Then I'll keep sewing. Please don't forget to check for the marks you made so that you put your bands and you don't just sew across. So the next thing we'll be doing is we'll take this band to our sewing machine and measure right from this point here, from the waist where we joined the band. We'll measure half an inch and then we'll sew it down. This will help make the band stay in place. We'll sew half an inch here and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So when we are done sewing half an inch here, this is what it looks like. It's secured down. The next thing we'll do is we'll close our zip and then bring both back ends together. For this, I have an excess here. I'm going to trim this out. If you have an excess, please do the same. Bring the back together, making sure that it is well aligned at the back. I'll pin it in place based on the allowance that you have. When you measure your half measurement of your waist, you're going to sew all the way from the band at the top and making sure that it is straight. If you have to use a ruler, please do. After the waistline, continue straight for about 1.5 or 1 inches before you begin to curve all the way to the crotch. So I am done joining the waists, and this is what it looks like after joining on the back all the way to the crotch, right? I'm going to bring the band this way, opening the back, and then I'll fold it down, fold it over, and then sew it all the way around. For this side of my fly, on this side, I'm going to bring my band, fold it this way, right? And then bring it on this side. Take it to my sewing machine and sew on this side, on this point, from this point all the way down. So for this flap side of my band, I'll fold it this way and do the same thing. Take it to my sewing machine, making sure I'm sewing from this point down to the end here. I'll sew all of this. I'll also be sewing my crotch together, of course on the wrong side. I'll sew it together with half an inch all this way to this way, right? I'll sew it like this, like this, like this, and like this. So I'm done sewing the crotch with 1/2 inch, and this is what it looks like. I'm also done joining my band from one side to the other. What is left for this short now is to fold in our hemming allowance that we left while we were cutting. If you've not seen how I cut this short, I'll be leaving a link in the description box. Please watch that video and then watch how to sew the fly and also how to sew the short. So if you enjoyed watching this video and you watched to this point, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed to me yet. So we'll go to our sewing machine and fold this in and hem round. We'll do the same thing for the other side. For our belt loop, we will be folding it, we'll be sewing it onto the band. What we'll do is we'll take it and then we'll fold about 0.25 or just a little bit this way, right? We'll fold it this way and then place it on the top. Take it to our sewing machine, then we will sew back and forth a couple of times. After sewing the belt loop, like I said, I want to show you guys what it looks like. If you feel this is too long, you can go ahead and trim it a bit. This is what the waistline looks like. And then I also hemmed my, the bottom part of my shorts on both sides, and this is what our short is looking like. The only thing that's remaining is to put hook and eye or button and buttonhole, so you can decide to do whatever you want with it. If you want me to show you how I put my button and buttonhole on this short, please let me know and I will do a video on that for you. Thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, to like, to tell YouTube that you like this video so they can recommend it to other people. And also, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video to your sewing groups, your sewing friends, so they can watch this tutorial. Thank you guys once again for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember to subscribe if you're not subscribed to me yet. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.